Exactly, and we have that power. You're going to make this ludicrous argument that somehow when I was 10 years old I had the power to say I'm getting the fuck out of here. That there was a rational choice I could make, and a free choice. It wasn't like I had to pay a price to get the fuck out. No, I could freely exit just more freely than how I entered, which was not at my volition but at somebody else's volition. And I mean, it's a ludicrous argument. So until you defend the right to allow people when they're any age to say I'm done, I want to get out of here, and as long as you're not going to put a condition on it that I might as well make the argument now, but you're going to make this ludicrous argument. This is one of these assholes who basically just says you have the right to kill yourself. There's no obstacles, and there's no contrived obstacles, no contrived social obstacles. It's just so disgusting. I mean, people who try to deliberately kill themselves, number one, the failure rate is huge. I mean, people don't even like doing simple things sloppy. People don't even bake sloppy cakes. You think they're gonna willfully walk into one of the biggest things in their life, experiences death, and do it sloppy, do it full of risk? And what the fuck? That's idiotic. And so if I told you that, all right, you can't have anesthesia anymore. And so when you need a surgery, it's going to be done with no anesthetic. All right, then I'll stand next to you when you're sick, a little tiny problem like an appendicitis, and I'll say to you, okay, well, you don't want to live, right? Because I mean, I can fix your problem. I'm just going to stick my hand into your guts. I'm going to rip a hole in you, stick my hand in there, and pull your appendix out, okay? And it'll save your fucking life. And if you don't let me do it, then obviously you don't want to live, right? It's because you don't want to live that you don't allow me to do that. I mean, that would be a ludicrous argument. And this is just so insensitive and ignorant of you to say, oh, people can kill themselves. Just jump off a building. Just jump in front of a train. Just blow your brains out. Like there's absolutely no as if a rational human should not be intimidated by that potential risk and damage and harm that behavior would cause them. I mean, that's just such an insensitive, asshole fucking perspective. Yeah, my reason is really clear. If I had a legal right to kill myself, I would have done it at 10 years old. I would have done it at 11. I would have done it at 12. I would have done it at 15. I would have done it at 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I would have done it any year of my life. And one of the reasons why I am still here, because I'm smart enough to figure out kind of, I'm pretty sure I can get myself out of here without making too much of a mess of myself. But no one can be that arrogant and confident. And I'm not going to do the blow my brains out thing, because to me that's an insult to my integrity. I don't deserve that, okay? I don't deserve to splatter whatever I am on a wall somewhere, okay? I have a right to something more graceful than that. I didn't ask to be here, and I have no obligation to harm myself, to do something completely unnatural to myself, something completely unnatural to my human sensibilities to achieve the end. And to me, it's exactly the same thing as me expecting you, for no good reason whatsoever, to have surgery without anesthesia. Why? That would be stupid. It would be ludicrous. Why would I impose that harm on you for you to achieve your purposes? Okay, so clearly we don't have a free choice, assholes. If you can't understand that, you are really, really a dumb motherfucktard.
Why do you keep on living? If life is not worth living, why live? It's pretty simple. Like, we have the means, we have a right at least to stop living anymore.
List them, please, okay? And there's whole societies of people been created. There's countries that have policy, euthanasia policy, that debate these issues about what the right way. There's states that argue about the most humane way to kill prisoners. If it was so fucking simple, if it was so fucking obvious to everybody, if there wasn't any delicacy and a need for sensitivity regarding these issues, I mean, you really are an asshole. Yes, we can do it very easily to an animal. Okay, we put animals down pretty gracefully. Okay, but when it comes to human beings, it gets a little fucking complicated. And the fact is, we don't have any balanced law. We don't have any right to kill ourselves. We can't legally do it efficiently and what's the right word? In a civilized manner. Give people a civilized right to die, and then you can make your stupid fucking argument. And our argument will be irrelevant then, because like I said, that's all I'm suggesting in my video, is give people who want off your crazy ride the ability to get off of it without splattering themselves on the fucking ground. You dumb fuck. Brilliant. Okay, so that's your argument. So I could, like I said, I'll make the counter argument to you that let's take away the right to anesthesia, and we'll force people to have surgery in the crudest and most disgusting way possible. And and you're going to tell me that people who want to live will do it. And I'm going to argue to you, no, most people aren't going to do it. They're not going to they're going to just sit there and say, well, I hope nature takes its course and I survive. But no, you're not sticking your hand into my chest, ripping my fucking ribs apart to, fiddle around with my heart while I'm conscious. No, that's not going to fucking happen. I mean, you're just such an asshole. This is such an immature, silly, childish argument. I mean, you completely deny the reality of the circumstance. Complete denial. What I'm saying is Kevorkian shouldn't be in jail for 7 years. The people should have a right to get the fuck out of here. And it should go way beyond when they have terminal cancer or when they have a terminal idea in their head, they should get the fuck out of here in as graceful a way as possible. And until that reality exists, you're creating, you assholes are just making the world that much worse, because it's not only are you imposing the indignity of a kind of slavery, but then you're sitting in your arrogant little position and kind of laughing because the slaves don't see this easy way out of their slavery, which is to die or to do some, you're just backseat driving the slave's existence. Well, fuck you. Well, of course I'm denying responsibility. That's right, because I would not do it any way like it's been done. I would not, has nothing to do with any conception of how I would organize a civilization. It's fundamentally backward, almost. Well, not almost, quite literally. They believe in phantasmagorical gods. They invest in this thing called life. Longevity has more value than quality. I mean, everything is backwards. The values are backwards. The whole thing is fucking stupid. That's why I went the fuck out when I was 10 years old. That's why I still plan on getting the fuck out. It's stupid. And that's why I don't have fucking kids. That's why the other assholes will force another me to exist here, because I certainly wouldn't be stupid enough to do it.